All right, now let's continue with episode 13 of season 2, Ehostela. And I'm doing part 2, guys. If you didn't see part 1, you can just go and watch it. I am talking about the editor, Lawrence Nkapele. He did an amazing job. And now the whole episode, guys, my favorite part was that 3 minutes and 13 seconds because of now the editor was showing off his skill. From thereafter, we saw that they started, the episode by showing us, Bangizwe and Mdeni. They arrived to the room because you remember on episode 12, Bangizwe told Mdeni that I know where Standwa is and I can take you there. So Mdeni already, he was suspecting that this guy can betray him and he is not to be trusted. And he was right, because when they arrived there, they find out that Bangizwe kidnapped another girl who is just the same height as Standwa, and he covered that girl and he made sure that that girl, she faced opposite the door. So when they arrived to the room, Mdeni just rushed to the girl because he was so happy to see his girlfriend. But when he uncovered her, he realized that actually this is not Standwa. And by that time, Bangizwe was already pointing the gun at Mdeni. And he told Mdeni that I did all of this so that I can catch you and I can take you back to Utelemba, so that Telemba can see that I'm trusted and he can put me back to the position where I was before. And he can reward him, of course. Now, he told Mdeni that turn around. When Mdeni turned around, he made sure that he disarmed Bangizwe and he took the gun away from him and he started, punching him while he was on the floor. And he also hit him with the gun. So him and the lady decided to run away from the room because of Bangizwe was already making a phone call telling Telemba that I found him, and he already told Telemba the location. So Telemba arrived there with Ncebalendota, but they were surprised to find Bangizwe on the floor. And when they were asking him what really happened, he started telling them that, he hit me and this is what really happened. So now Telemba was so angry and he said, you, Ncebalendota and Bangizwe, you need to go and find that boy now. So they went out, to search for Mdeni. And on the other side, we saw that Vovo organized men who are brave, who are strong, who are ready to go and die on the battlefield. And he went to the traditional healer which was used by Utelemba. This is the same traditional healer who Telemba was going to every time when he's going to do any job, when he's going to rob or anything. He was consulting this traditional healer, and he is the same traditional healer that they took Mdeni when he was struggling with nightmares, when he was dealing with so many things, so that he can get healed. He is the same traditional healer that Telemba told him that you need to go and get the strong muti. Stop telling me all these things. I don't want to hear anything anymore. So it was the funny part, that one. I do remember it so well in my head. So now the traditional healer decided to put some muti on them so that he can strengthen them, before they can go and, fight with Utelemba. And on the other side, they showed us that Mdeni, kept on going. After he dealt with Bangizwe, he decided to go and start looking room to room and see if he can find Standwa. And now he found, some of the securities, the AK men, those who are wearing military uniform, and he decided to take them out. He took the first one out and he took the uniform. He wore his uniform so that it can be easy for him to walk around now, because once they see a guy who's wearing the same uniform like them, it was easy for him to walk freely now into the whole hostel. I was just a bit surprised about that one, because the way he was even walking, I was just shocked, because he is the most wanted man in that hostel. And everything was happening so fast in a way that I'm telling you, it looks like they wanted to put everything together at the same time so that they can just finish this season the way it looked like. But then we saw that, he went there to see Thabo, and he told Thabo, like, look, Thabo, I need you to do something for me. And this thing, you'll be doing it actually for your uncle, 2 Liter. He died trying to protect, the brotherhood. and I want you to smuggle me, so that he can put him into the load that he's transporting of drugs. He smuggled him inside where he wanted to be, and he said, no, now that's fine here. I need you to go to the police station and tell Captain Moloi that on this place, these guys are going to exchange drugs. There will be, a drug exchange which will happen, and I want you to go and snitch on Utelemba so that we can have a backup of police. Now, Thabo did that. He took him into the back of his van. There were boxes of fake drugs, so that when the security are opening there, they will understand that he is still doing his day-to-day job, transporting drugs. And now, once they opened there, then he took out the gun, pointed to the other soldier, and now the guy who was giving them information when they were still hiding, he came back and he told the security guy, he said, no, man, you don't want that. This is Telemba's job. And Telemba is not going to be angry to hear that you are even disturbing his operation. He was telling the military guy that he should let, the car goes because they don't even know Mdeni. Mdeni, he is wearing military outfit and he is a security in there. He is bodyguarding the drugs. He is making sure that the drugs are safe. Now, Thabo, he's the driver. They let the car in. And now, then after he realized that he is at the spot where he wants to be, he told Thabo to take everything and go to police station and report what is exactly happening on that day. Then on the other side, we saw that Telemba told Bangizwe and Ngebalendota that they must get ready and go out and do a big job, and he doesn't want any mistake. And that big job, they were supposed to meet the dealers who are going to buy drugs from him. Those guys are the ones who are referred by AK. AK, he is the guy, remember, who is supplying him with guns and everything. And he gave him protection. He gave him security because his military men are patrolling the hostel so that now he can be safe. Because remember, Mdungwa is away now. He's out because he is using, AK to do everything because he's no longer using the assassins. So now they went there to the location where they are going to exchange money and drugs. When they arrived, they started with the business and everything. They exchanged money. But by the time they were busy packing drugs into the other taxi, that's when Captain Moloi showed up with the backup, and she told the police that don't use any siren. I want silence and I want to bust everybody right at the crime scene. Now, we saw that the hard work of Captain Moloi and her team, it was finally paid off because of now. When Thabo was there in the police station giving her the information, she said, who are you working for? Who sent you here? And Thabo told her that Mdeni Msibi is the one who sent me here. So now, by that time, she knew that the information is solid. If this young man is here and he is even telling me that Mdeni is the one who gave him all this information, this is solid. So she organized all the team and she told them, no siren, I want silence. They went there and they managed to arrest everyone who was at the crime scene. And also, what was very much important, it was that Ngebalendota was arrested alongside Bangizwe. And now they have the Lembes men on their side. And also, the other people who were there to buy drugs, they are AK, guys that he is dealing with, business associates. And now, when he heard that they were arrested with all the money, with all the drugs, he became very angry and he went to Telemba and he said, Telemba, you are doing this thing for the second time now. At the first time it was guns, and now I am moving on to do the drug business, and you are calling the police to come and arrest my people. And he was so angry. He said, I'm taking out all my men. I'm no longer giving you any guns. I'm no longer giving you any protection. You are on your own right now. So he told all his men to leave the hostel so that they can go, all of them. So that made it easy for Vovo's men to go and find his daughter. And it was so easy for them now to move around because of now the security was gone. The military or the soldiers were no longer there. And at the end, we saw that Mdeni now, he finally found where Standwa is, because now after everything happened, after Telemba received the news that his men, they are arrested, he knew that actually I am in danger, and he said, you need to bring Standwa here, because now I know that now Mdeni will do everything in his power to find Standwa. So when he comes, he must find Standwa here with me so that he can face me and I can deal with him. And it happened that, Mdeni arrived to the room and he found out that Standwa was in the same room with Telemba. Telemba had 2 men alongside him. And now Telemba took the same bush knife, the same sword that he used to kill Umaskakani, and he put it on Standwa's throat. And he said, I am going to kill her, and I am going to take out her heart, and I'm going to eat it right here while you are watching. So it was one of those scenes that I sat down and I was just amazed by the way they did that scene. Everything happened so fast, guys. And now Mdeni decided to take out the gun. He pointed at Telemba, but at the end of the day, somehow he decided to put the gun down and said, you know what, take me. It's better you kill me and you let Standwa live, because now she has never done anything wrong to you. I understand you killed her mother simply because of certain things, but when it comes to Standwa, she didn't even do anything wrong to you. And now I remember before that when, Telemba was talking to Standwa, he was saying, Standwa, you have, 2 things that you are guilty of. The first thing, you are guilty because of you are born from Maskakani, the woman who betrayed me and this and that. That is your first sin. That is your first thing that you are guilty of. And the second thing that I'm accusing you of is that you stole Mdeni's heart. And now Mdeni, he is uncontrollable. He is doing everything he can so that he can get you. So you and Mdeni being here, you just destroyed, my kingdom. My assassins were killed. My cousin also, Fish, was killed. And everything just went down. Somehow, Telemba took Mdeni's offer. He decided to let Standwa live. He pushed Standwa on the other side, and now he took out the gun and he pointed the gun at Mdeni. Instead of killing Mdeni, he started, telling Mdeni that it's been a long time. You've been doing this, you've been doing that. I've been forgiving you, but today I am going to kill you. I'm going to do this and that. And while he's busy preaching to Mdeni, Standwa decided to take the sword that he wanted to kill her with, and she stabbed him from behind. The same way he used the sword to stab Umaskakani, but this time she was behind him and she did what she was taught by him. Because remember, when Telemba was killing her mother, when Telemba was killing Umaskakani, he said, go and get Standwa so that she can sit here and see me killing her mother, the woman that I love so much. And she saw how brutal it was, and she saw how painful it was to her mother. Now, once she saw the sword on the floor and she realized that he is going to shoot Mdeni, and she took the sword and she stabbed him just exactly the way he decided to kill the mother. And in the same room, the same place where Umaskakani was killed is the same place where now Telemba is killed. And now they are both killed the same way with the same sword. That scene, it was mind-blowing. And somehow, one of the guys who were protecting Telemba decided to shoot Mdeni on the stomach. And it looked like Mdeni died on the spot. Because Mdeni was even telling Standwa that I cannot stop death. Now death has arrived. I have to go. It's time for me to go now. It was just that painful scene. But I understood that they did that scene simply because of now. They just wanted to, finish the episode, because you can't kill the 2 best actors at the same episode if you still want to continue with the TV show. And on the other side, we saw that Vovo managed to go and rescue Nelly. And he was even talking to Nelly, saying, Nelly, this place is very dangerous. I want you to go out of this hostel. And Nelly was like saying, I cannot lose you again, Dad. I lost you once. I want to be with you. I'm not leaving you behind. And Vovo was also saying, you know what, I've been doing all my things and I never had time to look after you, my daughter. So it was like they were like, talking about the bad things that they did and they want to be a good family. And now we saw that they arrived to where Mdeni was with Standwa and Zelemba, and they were late because now Mdeni was already bleeding. He was already shot. And now they was just there to hold him. And we also saw on the other side that Thabo decided to walk. He looks like he's going to hike. He looks like he is moving to a place where we don't know. And we also saw that AK took out all his men and he went back to where he was before. So that's how the whole episode was like. I think it was nicely done, although I felt like it was a bit rushed. I felt like we were still going to see some other episodes, because we didn't even see the funeral, Fish's funeral. We didn't see that. We don't know what really happened, because now, remember, Telemba's wife was there asking Telemba to go home with her so that they can go and bury Fish. And Telemba promised that he will go home and bury Fish. And now Telemba was killed. That means he cannot even go to his cousin's, funeral. But it was just one of those solid episodes. But we saw that also Vovo now, he is the leader of, the Brotherhood. He is taking over. He have his own men, his own assassins. If maybe we see season 3, I think Vovo, he will be the one who's taking over because he's using the same traditional healer.